Okay, so an anthropologist is somebody who studies the human species. I'm an evolutionary anthropologist, which means I study the scientific end, what we consider sort of the cultural end or the scientific end. And I study how evolution has shaped us and also why things evolve. So, for example, why did life evolve? Why did father evolve? And I use lots and lots of different techniques, scanning, genetics, all these different things to be able to answer.
How did these two things come together? We've got a book here about love, and then we've got a book about fatherhood, and you're very well known for talking on the subject of fatherhood. What is the link? How did the link come to be, and why? Why are you talking about fatherhood?
We have the wrong idea about fathers.
Hi, I am going to pull some tarot cards tonight. I've never done this live, but I want to.
So the link came because
So let's pull some. I'm just gonna go with these two that fell out. That's my shirt. I'll just go with these two that fell out real quick because nothing else is coming. Healing. You see the card? Healing. That's the card on the bottom of the deck. Let's see what these two are. Oh, it's 4 cards. We have the Creator, Courage, Nothingness, and Conditioning. Creator.
And the cleaner came in and said, was clean away. And he just said, to the cleaner, do you think she's dead?
Everything was created. Everything in creation is going to take courage to understand, even in nothingness, right? Because creation came out of nothingness. And this whole thing, this whole thing is about conditioning, right? Just life, period. Hey guys, I'm pulling some cards. I just read these few cards that came out. If y'all want me to pull some cards for y'all, just let me know. This is the Oshadin Tarot deck that I'm pulling from today. I like this deck. It's more of an intuitive read. Close the camera for Lamar Jackson edit. For a Lamar Jackson edit, what does that mean? I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, let me just pull some cards. Does anybody want some cards pulled for them? Like I said, this is the Osha Zen Tarot deck that I'm using today or tonight. Thanks for the likes, guys, too. Let's see. Can I pull? Yes, sure, I'll pull some cards for you. Let's see.
Now, for something that rare to evolve, it has to have a purpose because it led to amazing anatomical, social.
I'm listening to the Diary of a CEO. He's interviewing an expert on love, and she's saying that it's a lie that people are not monogamous. And I'm like, all right. Okay, I just pulled 2 cards for you. I got Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt and Stress. It looks like you had an event that went on here recently, or you're in the middle of an event. And something came down and it affected your life pretty majorly recently. And it's causing you some stress. Let's see what God wants you to do about this. I have never pulled cards on live before, guys. So this is a first for me. And I'm just kind of seeing how this goes. Tilt the camera for Jackson Lamar edit. If you boo, I will subscribe. If I do, you will subscribe. I don't know what I don't yeah. Here, let me just do it for you.
Historically, the father had to do when women's positions were different.
There you go, Jackson Lamar edit. Let me see what God wants you to do with this, or what the universe wants you to do. I got these two, and then this one I wanted to come out. Ordinariness. The universe is telling you to reach for ordinariness and enjoy that.
These two subjects initially do sort of dovetail into each other. When we think
Just
about
reach for the
states of love,
ordinariness of
and
life,
when you touched
totality.
when you talked about how women are earning more and more, so men are becoming a little bit
Totality to me represents completion or unity, unification with yourself. Because I know that we are divine beings, and living in this life, it can be very distorting as far as like who you are and what you came here to do. So I would say that totality is you needing to reconnect with who you really are and investigate yourself. And friendliness.
Women initiate roughly 70% of divorces, showing greater willingness to
Friendliness.
exit marriages that are unsatisfying than men. And obviously, I think one of the points you
I would say that would be you need to
as it relates to things like
come together with people, right?
to men.
This is looking like maybe you
Relationships and love.
friendships got involved when this thunderbolt came down and interrupted your life, causing you stress, and that you need to return to ordinariness, to reconnect with yourself in totality, and maybe be a little bit more friendly with the world, or friendly with what do you want? What is this friendliness? Oh, that came out immediately. All right. Hey, that came out immediately. Intensity.
It sounds kind of funny, but it's an increasingly familiar story that I'm hearing, which is once upon a time the goal would have been
Friendliness,
get married,
intensity.
build a life together. Now it's more individualistic.
So,
What's your thoughts here? What is the state of love at the moment?
Well, it's definitely more individualistic. We've become a more individualistic society. So we are looking for, yes, what do I want rather than what
let me pull for these and see what this is referring to. What do you want? What are you referring to? What are you referring to with the friendliness, intensity in this situation?
So women have been freed from that. They don't have to do that anymore. The other thing to say is they've realised that romantic love isn't the only love in the box. What we call their key survival critical relationship in many cases, so the relationship that's going to support them emotionally, physically, practically, all those sorts of things, are their female friends, their chosen families. And that's who they're turning to. And that's why we're seeing less and less women
Awareness and healing.
And in one sense, that's great. Because actually it's showing that all these
maybe this is that you're too intense in friendships, because this is bringing you back to wholeness, everything that I'm seeing here. And when I questioned what this was about friendliness, maybe there's an intensity in your friendships that is causing you stress. You dislike. Tell me what it is that, give me some feedback on what you dislike about the reading. I would love to hear back, because like I said, this is the first time I've done this online. So it's a little different because I don't have you here with me. And then also maybe these cards are not right for this reading. I'm the only one watching. Seriously, guys. Ella. Hey, Ella. So, I'm gonna go grab this other deck, and I will use. All my cards just freaking fell. I'm gonna go grab this other deck, and I'll use this as more of a clarity deck this time. All right, I have these other decks. I'm just gonna figure out which one I'm gonna use. Maybe I'll use the traditional deck for today, just because this is new for me here in this moment, and it might be more seamless if I use the traditional deck. So that's what I'm gonna do. I have 3 decks right here, 4 decks in total. The Oshizan Tarot, the classic deck. I have the Spirit. Oh my goodness, I forget which one this is. Let's just go with this one. Can you shout Ella? Hey, Ella. All right. So I'm going to use the traditional deck, and I'll set this one over here as a spare. It says, say hi. Are you putting it in, asking people to say hi? See what comes out. Pardon? It says say hi on the comment before that one. I don't know if you put that there or. I usually see that in people's chats, but I don't know if how that goes. Heartbreak, turmoil, anxiety, worry, fear, depression, suffering, grief, emotional pain. So then that would be tied to the friendships. So when the cards came out, it was thunderbolts and stress. And then we had healing and things like that. And then we got friendship at the end, and I needed clarity on friendship, and I got intensity. So what I'm getting is that with that first card, thunderbolt and stress, this is tied to friendship and heartbreak. Maybe you need to spend some time alone. Spend some time with yourself and do some self studying so that you can understand how you're showing up in friendship or even how you're showing up. So I'm going to pull again. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Brendan Crew. Anxiety.
How do they know this? Have they tested this?
You having anxiety, Brendan?
Where you make a load of men put on a very plain t-shirt, and also have to wash, then also have to use deodorant, as well as anything. Wear it for 24 hours,
We got
then
one.
zip up bags, and we went to get some
I
points.
got
To Smith the ball.
Six of
And the idea is
Pentacles.
that the one she finds most attractive to Smith is the one which is genetically furthest away from her.
Giving and
Guess what?
receiving.
When you genotype her, you can see what they are.
No, it's a song.
We have very sophisticated genotyping technology now.
All I know is that the song by what's her name? Doechii? Is that what that song is called? Anxiety. I do like that
I
song.
was wondering why men didn't evolve to be able to do that.
We think it's kind of
Six of
the possibility
Pentacles.
of getting it wrong, having a baby who is basically
That one wanted to fall out.
She is basically
This is going to be the Four of Swords.
to reproduce for 9 months plus
Rest,
beyond.
relaxation,
And so that's a really long period of time.
meditation, contemplation.
So you've taken in all that information from the sensors, it's all whirring around in there, and what your brain is actually doing is your brain's got a very complicated
Let's
algorithm,
get some
which
clarity
is
on
working out
this.
the biological market value of the person.
Why do we have the Four of Pentacles?
It's how likely that person is to be reproductively successful. Because from an evolutionary point of view, that's the whole point of the existence. When you want kids
Why
to
is the
realize
Four of Pentacles here?
you have to
And
reproduce.
the Six of Pentacles and the Four of Swords.
And so you want somebody
Six
who's
of
got
Pentacles and
highest
Four
likelihood
of Swords.
And we can tell that from lots of things to do with how someone looks, the pitch of their voice, how they smell. What men actually do is they look at the waist hip ratio. You don't know you're doing it.
Transformation and new vision.
They don't know that it's completely unconscious.
Six of
One thing that's
Pentacles.
done with people walking down the street with
God is, the universe is giving you
technology, and what they do is the first thing they do
some new assets. You got some new things coming into your life. And God is asking you for rest, for this transformation and new vision, which is being gifted to you with the Six of Pentacles. You're being gifted transformation and new vision. But in order to get that, you definitely are going to need to get some rest. Because with rest comes clarity. With rest comes clarity. And that's the gift. Six of Pentacles. Interesting. Let's pull again.
Women look at slightly different things. But for women, what's really interesting is it's not as visual. So women look at the shoulder.
This is my first read, guys. I'm just doing an experiment to see how this kind of goes on YouTube.
Now the ideal there is 1.6. What I will say before men rush off and measure their weight is really only a little bit of reason 1.6.
1.6 meaning the top
All
of
right.
is bigger than that.
And I got
So if my waist is
Ace of Cups
Yes.
and the Hierophant.
Yeah.
so my waist is 100, the top
Yeah.
is 100.
Ace of Cups, love, creativity, passion, newness.
But what that's showing is actually certain things which are desirable in a male.
The Hierophant.
Physical strength.
Institution, tradition, religion, society and its rules, social approval, conformity. And these both came out upright. I don't really read cards for upright or not. Let me see what God wants for you. What the universe is trying to say. What do you want? What are you saying? These cards. What are you
So you
saying?
take all these things, you take all that in, you take in that visual information, you do your little algorithm in your brain, which obviously you don't know what's happening. If you did a good ping, as yes, this person has a good biological market value. I like that.
What are you
What happens
saying?
is in the very core of the brain, in the middle. So this is very core of the brain here. There's a structure in there called the nucleus accumbens.
Ace of
So
Cups
dopamine
in the
receptors,
Hierophant.
receptors.
Uh-oh. All right, we got one. Creativity. So Ace of Cups is creativity already. And then the Hierophant is tradition, religion, societal approval, conformity. This is the lack of creativity. So let's see. What do you want? What do you want from her? What do you want her to do? But to me, that's yin and yang. Creativity in the absence of it. Water and earth. The energy of the unexpected. Laziness. And then laziness is the opposite of creativity. What I'm getting from this is very universe focused. This is yin yang. This is creativity and then the absence of it, or social approval, conformity. That's to me is the absence of creativity. And then we have creativity and laziness. You cannot be creative and lazy. Let's make sense of that. What do you want to say with that? You're showing me two different decks with two different, celebration. The celebration of the who you are and the opposite of it, what you have going on in the opposite of it, meaning celebrate life, right? Good, the opposite of good is bad, right? And that's life, that's yin yang, that's God, that is I don't know, that's really interesting because like through all these cards, that's what I've been feeling like is coming through, is that the presence of God and who he is, or the I am and what it represents. Let's see, is that going to happen again? The mind.
Tango, whatever it is, because first of all, you're touching. So you get released oxytocin and beta endorphin, they're both released by touch. You're moving around, as any gym body knows, exercise produces beta endorphin. Hopefully you're not that great at this, so you're going to laugh a lot, because you're actually looking at rubbish. Okay? So you're releasing lots and lots of lovely oxytocin, dopamine, beta endorphin doing that.
Those almost came out, and it would have been a lot too.
Okay? Because beta endorphin initially as your body's painkiller. Well, it has over time, it's been adopted into our social
celebration.
But we know you have pain receptors in your gut. So if you have
celebrating yourself,
irritated because it's a little bit spicy, so don't have a corner.
Okay, here we go.
It produces beta endorphin, and we know that will also help you.
And another opposite, the mind and nothingness. Wow. This is just universal opposites just coming out back to back 3 times. The universal opposites came out 3 times. We have the Ace of Cups and the Hierophant. We have creativity and laziness. Then we have mind and nothingness. That is really interesting. And then celebration, right? Celebrate life. That all things exist in its and its opposite. Everything exists in contrast. That's really interesting. All right. Let's pull again and see what happens. Thanks for the likes, guys. Let's see. Ooh, these cards is trying to jump out. Let's try something. Okay, here we go. And then it's 2 cards every time out of this deck. King of Cups and the Hermit. King of Cups. The all-knowing, emotional balance, compassion, diplomatic control. The King of Cups. He's the ruler of the cups. And the Hermit. Isolation, soul searching. Okay, let's see. Let's get some clarity on this. King of Cups and the Hermit. What is that? What are we speaking on? King of Cups and the Hermit. Nothingness came back out. Understanding, harmony, nothingness. Ooh, the King of Cups, right? So the King of Cups is the mastery of the elements, the things that feel you. And he controls this. He has control of those elements. And the Hermit is self-discovery. And what's being shown is understanding harmony and nothingness, right? And with that, this is so interesting because nothingness represents the universe before form or without form, without assignment. Harmony is representation of the yin and yang. And understanding is necessary in order to live in harmony. It's really interesting. All right, let's do it again. Let's see what happens. Let's start with this one this time. So let's say somebody says something horrendously homophobic or something like that, or something racist. That's an immediate right. No, this person can't. What about X? Because X seems to emerge. Let me know and I'll pull for you. It's a friend of mine who's she's never been in a relationship. She's 37 years old, 38 years old. Okay, right out too. Oh. I'm not. Listen, I was never really. Let's see what's gonna happen. To tell someone they're doing right or wrong. But she showed me her dating profile. And in the dating profile, she said to me, I said no to this guy. And I looked at this guy. And I was like, woo! These cards is just coming right out. Let's see. Woo! Abundance, receptivity, creativity, abundance. But really, there is become a culture of this is an abundant existence. And it takes receptivity to know and understand your creativity. I mean, your creative potential. Let's see. And you don't get a lot of information from online dating because you don't get a lot of sensory information to help you make a decision. So people become more and more obsessed with what's in the image. What can I get about this person? And they start to become obsessed with time templates. What ultimately people find attractive is a very complicated. There are so many different things that feed into attraction. I'll just go with that. Whether or not somebody has lots of something in their wardrobe is very too many. Even vaguely important. I think that's all though. I don't think you can date. That's something they should call introduction apps. And that's what the great Annie Fisher said. She said they're introduction apps. They can all be 4 cards. All right, this came up in the reverse. Self-worth. This is the Nine of Pentacles, and it's self-worth. The King of Cups. I mean, the Knight of Cups. And the Sun. And the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Cups is the Knight of Cups is in reverse, and the Nine of Pentacles is in reverse. Self-worth, moodiness, disappointment, overactive imagination, positivity, pleasure, and happiness.
So you would probably meet someone at work, you'd meet someone at bar, you'd meet someone through a friend, which was a real blind date, and you'd
jealousy.
Where and I've got to go somewhere with this person, spend some time with this person, some financial investment,
energy,
get myself all ready, spend an evening with them, and that's
passion, inspiration.
So you invested time, and you
so abundance, receptivity, and creativity. This represents what you need in order to live this harmonious life that we're trying to achieve here. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is self-worth. This is self-acceptance. And it's in reverse. So it is Then we have moodiness, disappointment, overactive imagination, and jealousy. They made him go through this sort of rigorous test to get into this boring forum, and then they asked them how much you appreciate the forum. They said it's great. Yeah. I'm obviously paraphrasing. Positivity, pleasure, happiness, validity, fun, joy, worth, 14 years old going on my first day. Energy, passionate, inspired action, adventure, fearless, impulsive. So in these cards, I'm seeing this represented here. Point personhood, right? Accepting yourself, loving yourself, allowing yourself to be who you are. To stop with the negative self-talk. Have more positive energy. Be more present. Have more of a positive outlook on the world. Because it looks like you're on your way to the place that you're trying to get to. But you do need to examine yourself. Make sure that you are doing the things that you set out to do in the world. And that you don't let yourself get in the way. You don't allow yourself to question what it is that you know. Because you do know. And take pride in that. And move forward with power. That is good. All right. That was really interesting. And this was just a trial run with these tarot cards for real. Just curious as to how this goes on here, because I see the girls reading on live, and I've never really done that before. And I was really curious about it. That definitely scratched that itch. All right.
is two people who are exclusive to each other. So in terms of love, monogamy itself is a social construct, mostly. We are not a monogamous species. There are in fact very few monogamous species in the world. Maybe, I think I read a book the other day, it says something like 4.0 of the animals on this planet are monogamous. Because what you will see in the wild and what you see mostly with humans is social monogamy. They live together. But we know that the infidelity rate is generally is around 50%. So 50% of those households are not sexually monogamous. And in fact, from an evolutionary point of view, being sexually monogamous is a really quite bad idea because you are limiting yourself to a very narrow gene pool. And that's why there are very few creatures in the world that are truly sexually monogamous. When I was doing my master's, my professor studied gibbons. Gibbons at the time were known to be the monogamous ape. And he did a really longitudinal study, and he was the first to realise that they were all sneaking off and doing it behind the rock with somebody else. But they were living together. But the female was going to find some better genes somewhere else. This guy, brilliant parent, not great genes. I'm going to go behind a rock and mate with this really good looking gibbon over here because I'm going to get some good genes, and then he's going to raise the kid. And the guy is like, well, I'm obviously going to have offspring here, but actually, mating with another female is not particularly costly to me, so I'll just go and do that over there, and let's hope she can raise them on her own, or maybe her partner will raise them for me. So there are very few. So we have monogamy mainly in the West because it's a socially prescribed form of organisation, and it was imposed because it is a form of control. It mainly sits in terms of rules, particularly in religion, but also the already legal rules. For example, in Britain, you can't have two marriages, you can't be a bigamist, and it's about making everybody control. Because if we all just gave in constantly to precisely what our drives were saying, there'd be kind of chaos, and those in power wouldn't be able to predict what anybody is going to do. Because actually, I'm just going to go out. I feel sexually attracted to whoever that is over there. I'm going to go maybe there, but I'm going to come back and live here, but then I'm going to keep up there, and it's all really confusing. So over time, when civilization first arose, the more complex we got, and as we started to live together in cities, those in control were like, okay, I really need to be able to predict what these lesser beings are going to do. So I'm going to impose monogamy. You can only live with one person and basically have sex with one person. Nobody actually ever only has sex with one person, but we're going to look like we do. And those are the rules, and that's why we have legitimacy rules about children and inheritance and all that kind of thing, because it maintains control. So monogamy is, simply a social construct. It's not something that we've biologically evolved to do. And we know that part, there are many countries in the world where monogamy isn't what is prescribed.
How are those cultures getting on? The ones that aren't monogamous?
Fine.
What cultures are those?
So you tend to get, so for example, in certain religions, so in certain forms of Islam, for example, men can have many wives. There are certain tribes which exist within sort of South America and in certain areas of Africa where you can have many wives. For example, there are some groups in Nepal and Himalayas where you have what's known as polyandry. So one woman has many husbands. Usually, the reason why these different groupings evolve, like monogamy, is it's something to do with economics, generally. So, for example, in Nepal, in these areas, because they still have male inheritance of land, if, let's say we've got a family farm and there's 5 brothers, if all of those 5 brothers split the inheritance, then that farm would become uneconomic. You wouldn't be able to farm that many money. So over time, what's evolved is one woman will marry all the brothers, so that when they inherit the farm, they will all it will carry on passing down, essentially.
So if it goes against our evolutionary design to be in monogamous relationships, doesn't that mean that there's more people who are struggling against their...
Absolutely, and that's why we have a reasonably high rate of people who have extramarriage.
Let's try this again. I'm gonna do a little different this time.
Actually, it's the more.
Let me burn this Palo Santo.
Because all they're doing is following their drives, and they actually believe that it's more moral. Because if you put forward a monogamous front and you have an affair, you are lying.
This is to bless the cards and to bless the space and to center.
Whereas if you're polyamorous or
here.
you're in a relationship, you're actually openly saying, "This is my drive. This is the reality. I'm being truthful with everybody about it."
I'm gonna center onto the live. Being that this is my first time pulling cards live, I definitely need this.
They're really representing what is, for most people, an ancestral state. Polyamory is difficult because, unlike open relationships such as swinging or being open, we call them consensual non-monogamy, that's just based on sex. So you're not spread.
All right, let's connect these cards and see what wants to come through. I usually just grab my cards and just hold them. Here we go. We're going to pull manipulation. This is the Devil card. Seduction. Control. Not being yourself. Chaos. So many things going on in the world. There's so much happening. And what I'm getting from this card is that we're tired of this manipulation and this control. Let's go again. Ooh. Oh, this is the deck that my dog chewed. Ooh. Queen of Wands, magic, power, celebration, joy. Yeah. This is what we're all striving for. We don't know what we're looking for, but if we were to tell the truth, we are all looking for the divine, right? And divine is anything you call it. You could call it God, you can call it creation, universe, IAM, energy. But that all of it is in the palm of your hand if you just look within. If you just trust yourself and trust your joy and trust your guidance system to take you in the right direction. Then you got 7 of Wands. It's very watchful, defensive. And he has a army, but his army is not men. His army is birds, the crow. Wow, I'm gonna have to sit with that one. The watcher. But also defending, right? That we have to pay attention. We have to pay attention because there's definitely something that we need to be defending against. And in our sovereignty, we should be defending ourselves against the system that the systems that have been created to control us and to make us question ourselves. Hmm. Wow, that's interesting. Four of Wands. Four of Wands. Magic, love, light, celebration, dancing, unity, community, joy, fun. And this is all what we're seeking, right? But we can get this can actually be a distraction to be in celebration, because some of us are celebrating to the point where we're not paying attention to the world. We're not paying attention to what's actually happening and what we really want. Yeah. Hmm. Good stuff. And then you got the Five of Swords, confusion, the ache, tired, surrender. Hmm. Yeah. Surrender to the power of the universe and creation, right? We in the world that we've created today and systems and stuff like that, there was no surrender. We were controlling things. We were trying to control things. We were trying to manipulate the world to create whatever kind of systems that we felt were going to be most beneficial for greed. But it became tiresome and we didn't want to fight anymore. Stressed, overwhelmed, and then comes the surrender. But it's like that's the hardest part, the surrender, because we feel like we need to control everything in order for us to get what we're looking for in life, that there needs to be some type of control. But the beauty is that no, we don't need to control anything. The surrender is the control, really. If you can control the fact that you have no control, or control the fact that you think that you have control, and just surrender to life and surrender to what is and what is calling you and what is speaking to you. Yeah, because stress is it looks like everybody is stressed. Like people are more stressed today than ever in history. And I want to change my deck. I have two of these decks. That one has little bites in it from my dog. So I'm gonna actually switch decks. This one is not supposed to be in here, but I have another deck that's exactly like it, because I like that deck so much that I ended up going to buy another one just because my dog was chewing on it. Let me see. Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to intentionally pull one card. I was letting cards fall out, and I don't know that I want to read like that. All right, strength. Strength. That the yin yang equates to strength. You have to embrace your light self and your shadow self. so that you can be whole and be present enough to do what it is that you have come here to do. We have a sheep and we have a lion and a girl, and the sheep is really comfortable in her presence. She's a lion and a human, and a guide and a shepherd. It's the shadow self. Embracing both sides and knowing that that's what makes you human, not not the body. The body doesn't make you human. The body and the spirit makes you human. Your mistakes and your successes make you human. Your wants and your the things that you don't want is what makes you human. The stories that you tell and the things that you hide, strength, power. I really love these cards. I really love these cards. Look at this. This is strength. That is so cool. Oops. The star and the tether. Oh, you can see it. I don't want to just face it solely towards the table. Is that gonna help? Can I lock it in? So maybe if we pull it higher. The star. Holding on to the divine, reaching for the divine, that you are no different or no separate from the atmosphere, the stars, the earth, your wants. She's in reverence to revere God. Revere creation. Because I use this word God a lot, and I don't necessarily look at creator as like God in the traditional sense, like in religion or whatever. I look at it more as the all, the creator, the beginning and the end. And she's in reverence. First card. Death and rebirth. Cyclical. The cycle of life. Everlasting life. Eternal consciousness. Beyond the veil. Because under the veil is you. You are the God that you're looking for. And that looks like a shooting star. That's really good. This is some good cards. Hey, Legend. I told you that I was going to come back and try to do a little tarot or whatever. And I did go watch your video, friend. Let me put this down because this is something I'm doing just for the meantime, between time. I'm trying to get used to doing the little card reading online. But I have went and watched your video, friend. And you do feel like that women should be bending the knee to propose. You said, no, I don't feel that way. But when I watched your video, it was like, yeah, that's what you were saying. I commented on it. Let me pull a card in the meantime, between time, friend. I was like, my friend said that he did not believe that, but then going to the video, obviously, that's what he believes. King of Swords. Calm, collected, secure, confident, watchful, mysterious, mystical, guided. He's not tethered to the earthly things, but ready to go to war for them. Good stuff. I'm trolling my audience every once in a while. Try to stir the pot. My daughter said that she was like, Mama, you should probably do some more kind of clickbaity topics to kind of draw people in, even though you don't really disagree with people's opinions or perspectives. I'm pretty open minded, but that makes it hard for me to like come up with topics because I can be on both sides of the aisle, giving people understanding. You laughing like, yeah. I was like, he said that he didn't believe it. So, but with that said, you understood my perspective on it, like security and being chosen and stuff like that. But also, like, say that the person didn't want to bend the knee. Either one of the people wanted to bend the knee, but they're together. They could literally just have a conversation and decide to just marry, like, so that neither one of them will have to bend the knee, but they could still, fulfill the promise or the call. I was like, that is so interesting. But yeah, I'm just out here pulling cards, trying to get used to the reading tarot on live. I don't usually read tarot on live. I more do personal readings in person. Queen of Pentacles, graceful, elegant, powerful, confident, wise, teacher, a guide. Mm. Possessions, money, graceful. She's going to gracefully guide. And it takes some time to reach this state in our own lives to be so graceful and confident and sure of ourselves and understanding who we are. Because the self assurance really comes from knowing who you are. And we can appear self assured. We can appear like we got it together. But this is not appearance. This is real self assurance. He said he bucked the system. He hate the matrix. Don't we all, Lord? Don't we all? Some of us like it. Capitalism is working for us. We done got into a position to where we're like, hey, please, communists, please shut the hell up. Socialists, we don't want to hear that shit. But I'm not a capitalist. I mean, I can be a capitalist, like kind of, being that I have a business and I need to make money and stuff like that. But my choice is definitely not going to be capitalism ever. The Chariot, the guiding the way, knowing the way, trusting that where you're headed is where you're supposed to be. Where you are now is where you're supposed to be. But having enough self-trust to do it anyway, to buck the current, like Legend said, to buck the system, to do what is necessary for you at all times, not letting what other people have going on make you show up in whatever way that is good for them, because you are the rider. You don't want to go where people are leading you. You definitely want to have your own self-assurance so that you can be happy with the decisions that you make. He's going through a portal and he's going fast. He's going fast. It reminds me of like the fact that we're coming out of Pisces and we're entering into Aquarius, and how quickly things are changing in this transition from Pisces to Aquarius. That the world we're going through is it's gonna be like going through a portal so quick that we don't even know where we are, what's going on for real. But if you pay attention right now, you don't have to be lost. You don't have to be lost. There's guidance all around, and it's just waiting for you to ask the question. Eight of Wands, power, a direct hit, hard strike, buck the current. And this is so crazy. You said buck the current, and then the cards that I'm seeing is pretty much confirming that we need to be bucking the current. Look at this. Look at this. Because the things of old are going to pass away. But in order for it to do that, we're going to have to strike. We're going to have to strike. And it reminds me of the Haitians. And they're trying to deport all them Haitians. And them Haitians was like, no, we're going to go to war right here, right now, at any time, for any reason. And then the camaraderie in that, making the decision all together, like, hey, they probably only came to get one person or two people, and they left with no one because they bucked the current. Shuffle like this one time. Two. I hate it when two cards come out because I'm trying to. I can do two cards in a reading, but live is just not working. Nine of Cups and Liberation. Wait. Look at this. Liberation. Trying to make sure you can see it. Treasure chest. 9 cups. and an elevation. Surrender. The Emperor. Wise governing. Decision making. Considering all. Mm, good stuff. It does. It's very that is very powerful. This is a powerful card. And this don't come out much in my readings. I don't know if I ever pulled this in a reading actually. And if I have, it probably was only one time. It's really interesting. And I like this card because these cards because they're so expressive and it kind of represents how I see the world. I thought this was so perfect. I need to send a shout out to the maker of these cards, but I don't have the name of that maker right here with me. Unity, community, socialism, working together, sacred geometry, progression, love, guidance, fun, but the community of it all. Because at first I thought that these were their kids, but no, these are just kids. And then there's a comfortable dog in the middle of it all. Hmm. Some good stuff. Come on. What else do you have? All right, I think I want to switch decks. Just for a second. This is my Osho Zen Tarot. This is more of a consciousness kind of deck. More intimate. The dream. The dream. Looks like this person is longing. Or it's their future self. The thing that they're moving toward. And the fact that we are moving toward the dream that most of us are wanting. And this doesn't have to be relationship. This can be societal. This could be communal, um, political. Like the dream is for the heaven on earth, and that's something that we don't really know because we separate our wants to individual things in individual categories. But if you put them all together, what do you want? What do you want? And most people can't dream that big because they're scared to say, hey, I can actually want the heaven on earth because the promise was for heaven somewhere else or a heaven untouchable, a heaven inaccessible, a heaven that you have to be good enough to get into. But what if, regardless of whether you were good enough or not, the heaven was coming? What if The dream for your evolution and your liberation and your happiness was always on its way. What if you got in your own way? What if you could get out of your way and just give yourself permission to dream and want? Ooh, hold on. I didn't see the other ones, but I saw this one. The rebel. I am the rebel. And the rebel is looked at as a villain, as someone who is bucking the current in a bad way because he's just creating chaos and they're just messing up things. Things were already set, and then here this rebel comes and trying to fix things to make things go their way. But what if the rebel was the liberator? What if the rebel is here to free you from those chains? What if the rebel had to be persecuted first? Isn't that who Jesus? Isn't that who Jesus is? Jesus is the rebel, and we trusted him. We let it guide through religions, through belief systems. These rebels came, and we trusted them because they were so sure of themselves in a world where a lot of us weren't. And it was a gift. Look at his wings. Oh no. Is that a eagle? It's a colorful eagle. Or is that a phoenix? I would say it's a phoenix. And he's just sweeping through on a cloud like, well, here I come. Good stuff. Oh, dang, I hate when that happens. We're just going to look at the bottom card. Compromise. Up, this goes to the topic that you had brought up earlier, talking about marriage. What if we could compromise for the heaven on earth? What if all it took was for us to compromise to get all of the things that we want? Not compromise who you are, but compromise with the things around you, the world. What if the compromise is to wait and be patient? What if the other person is your other half so that you need to be able to compromise to go where you're headed after you meet that person? A mirror, the same but different. Both ready to fight, Just because they're compromising don't mean they won't whoop your ass, is what I see. Ah, just because they compromising don't mean they won't whoop your ass. Hmm. Yeah, compromise is necessary. Like, that's part of how I even got the clarity that I have, is that I had to compromise with what the world was putting forward and what was true. I had to compromise that. My compromise was that no one is wrong. Everybody is trying to reach the thing that we were put here to reach. And they only had certain tools in order to do that. So I had to compromise that knowing with this knowing, the knowing that I am, the knowing that it is, and it will be. Hmm? Abundance. Our future is abundant. Our lives now are abundant, but we can't see it. We're blinded to the abundance that we are offered, or the abundance that's right in front of us, because of the turmoil and the pain. We've been tainted. Our viewpoint has changed. When we came into this world, we all we knew was pleasure, comfort, and love. When we got tainted, we were blinded from our own power. And you are who you're searching for. You have all the things that could give you the abundance. If that means financial abundance, familial abundance, maybe it's a change of perspective. Maybe just your perspective needs to change. Legend, what do you think of the reading? This is my first time reading online. Hi to whoever else is there. If you haven't liked the video yet, could you please give me a thumbs up? My friend probably already left. I understand it's late. I see people online in the middle of the night all the time. And I'll be like, that's cool. That's interesting. Turning in, right? Who are you? What are you here to do? What do you know? What do you want? What if you could just listen to your emotions and let your emotions be your guidance system? What if your ancestors are tuned into you? What if all you have to do is trust? Ooh, nothingness. Nothingness, right? Nothingness. Nothingness. This can be represented in a lot of different ways, like meditation. Because in that space of nothingness, no internal, no external forces are interfering. There's a nothing interfering, allowing you to think your real thoughts. And people say, oh, well, I can't meditate. I can't quiet my mind. Well, that is your meditation. Your mind has something to say, but are you listening? Is the question. In nothingness, there's so much clarity, like the hermit or the wise man. From what they say, we all came from that nothingness. That one day there wasn't, and then all of a sudden there was. Like, let there be me. What if all the questions that you ever asked have already been answered and you just wasn't paying attention? All the things that you ever wanted, what if they already are and they're just waiting on you to catch up? This is trust. This is I am. Like trusting these cards to be useful to me. Trusting these cards to help me convey what I want to convey. One of my struggles has been to get online and say the things that I want to say and figure out how to say it. And what do you know? These cards are helping me do that. And this is my very first time bringing them into my live videos. Success. After self-trust, the proof. After acceptance, the proof. After love, after gratitude, after knowing who you are and trusting yourself. Ooh, fighting. Fighting. Maybe fighting the truth. Fighting an invisible war. Fighting the system. Fighting yourself. Oop. Slow down. Be ready. Slow down. Slow and steady. He made it. He is where he was trying to be. It looks like the water's edge. And he didn't even have to rush. It wasn't going nowhere. It wasn't going nowhere. But sometimes we rush, right? Me, I've been readying myself to get on YouTube or get online for 10 years. And I could have rushed and just did it. Just like, hey girl, get on there and just do it. Just do it. But how grateful am I that I listened to myself and I slowed down and I allowed the journey to take what turns that it took. And I could sit here right now on this day, on June 5th, or is it the 6th yet? Yep, on June 6th, letting my cards helped me say what I've been coming here to say and never had the words to say because the topics were too broad. It's too much going on in the topics that I want to cover. And this narrows it down so I can touch each piece. We're going to use that one. And we'll read that one next. Going with the flow. I just mentioned that slowing down was how I got here. That I had to go with the flow. Hi, beloved. Look at you, shining like a star. And shit, I'm so proud of each one of y'all. Keep shining your own unique light, Luke. What? Lilia? Divine, broken, beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Divinely Broken, Beautiful. I love that name. Divine, broken, beautiful. Yin and yang. The thing and then the opposite of it. That is so beautiful. I love that. But going with the flow, right? I could have rushed this. I could have came in like a wrecking ball, but I would have just wrecked myself 10 years ago trying to rush in. So I'm grateful that I took my time and went with the flow. And that's the Pisces, the two fish. It's in my nature. But we can fight our nature most of the time. But I don't fight my nature. Like I let it be. It's like Dulilia without the duh, broken, beautiful, divine. I need to switch the order, lol. Just realized it. Broken, beautiful. Ooh, I like that better. Broken, beautifully divine. I like that. Mm. We don't understand the power of going with the flow. And we don't understand how powerful we are because we don't go with the flow. We try to force things. We try to move fast. We try to see beyond the veil before it's revealed to us. I don't know if you think I'm Delilia, but I don't even know what that is. My name is Sister Shakina, the divine presence within. The dream. We already talked about that card, but the dream is just trusting yourself to be who you're already supposed to be. That there's no such thing as time, and time was just a construct. Existence. That song, I'm gonna have to look that up because I haven't. Let me look it up now, girl, since you're bringing it up now. Oh, the Lilia is a content creator. What does she do? It's a song, LOL. I was trying to tell you how to pronounce it. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's go back. Unique Lightlia. Beloved, look at you shining like a star. And shit, I'm so proud of each one of y'all. Keep shining your own unique light, Lilia. Hmm. Like Lilia. 1,000 miles away, but tonight you look pretty. Yes, you do look. LOL. It's what you do to me. Lyrics. Okay. Hmm. Dang, let me see. Look. Now I'm invested. Google's not pulling the song up. My dad, girl, my name ain't important. Keep your show going. Girl, this is spontaneous. This is impromptu. I'm just grateful. That's all. Oh, the miser. What is the miser? I never looked that up. Hoards. The miser hoards. And this person is hoarding wealth, right? In this capitalistic world, this is what we're dealing with. This is the system. This represents the system, the miser. And then looking over its shoulder, like, don't mess with my money. Don't mess with my stuff. But don't worry, we don't want your shit. No, it do, don't it? We do not want your stuff. Don't worry. But believe there is an agenda. It's just not like yours. Because you not like us. No, I'm just kidding. Silence, peace, contemplation, surrender, love, faith, intuition, guidance, emotions, water, earth, air, fire, good stuff, silence. Be still and know that I am God. Let's go back this way. Could you help me with my identity? Everything I know is a couple of months been a lie. I almost got trafficked 3 times, my family and community. I don't even know if my parents are actually mine. I'm confused. You don't know who you are? Who do you think you are? That would be the first question. Who do you think you are? It's all about questioning, right? We have to dig and then we have to be silent so that we can hear. We have to ask and wait for the answer. We have to be still and know that you are God, right? The Emperor, I just tried not to grab this card, but this card came right back out. It came out to be grabbed just a second ago, and I was just like, yeah, let's try it again. And here we are again. Yes, then I bought a new deck with 78 and woke up with 80. Three different sets of lovers with different genders on each. The Light of Judah. Woke up with 80. Girl, what was the extra two cards? Do you remember what I mean, do you know what the extra two cards were? The creator God makes me feel weird saying maybe crazy I am. No, you're not, because I am. So maybe this card is for you, Emperor. The wise God patiently waiting. This card just came out forcefully twice. And this is actually the third time it came out tonight. No, you're not crazy. The world told you to forget who you are. And if you're religious, Christ tried to remind you, and then we started worshiping Christ. You are. One boy boy, one girl boy, and the other girl girl. That's three. What deck was it? I'm not familiar with all the decks because I only gravitate towards the decks that call me. I don't even pay attention to other ones, and I let people, if I end up with the deck that somebody else might have, then I'll start understanding it. The original tarot, right? But I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. Girl, 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 boy. Here's the original deck. What suit was it? Was it a major arcana, a minor? Because I don't understand girl, 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 boy. Boy, boy. I'm also new to the online space. My spiritual growth didn't come online. This is divine. So I'm learning how things work online. Queen of Cups. Does this resonate with you? So on the original tarot deck, There is 78, but when I woke up, there is 80. So there is an original lover card which has a boy and a girl on it, and then there's another card. Right. Now make me understand what you're saying. You saw this was the original card in the 78. But when you pulled the lovers again, there was a girl and a boy and a boy. So you had unisex cards or what is it called? I don't know. Shit. I don't know. Open-minded love, I guess. A boy and another girl. Made my eyes warm. Why so? Why did they make your eyes warm? What was so special about that for you? What was it there for you? What was it saying to you in the moment, right? Does this resonate with you? This is surrender. This is faith. This is I am. Starting to accept it, but not all the way surrendering to it. On the edge of it. On the edge of what it means to really be I am. Knowing that I am is the destination, but not ready to fully step in because what that might mean for you. When I bought it, just had one lover's card. Then now have three separate cards with different genders. That is really crazy. Oh, the card I'm showing is what made your eyes warm. Yes, ma'am. Of course you can use me. That's what I want. That's why I'm in this space, because I want to be a vessel for those who need, just like people are for me. But I know that exposing myself is my calling. Showing this radical acceptance or this radical faith. The Bible says, with faith the size of a mustard seed, we can move mountains. But what if I told you that I took that mustard seed size faith and I put it in soil and I watered and fertilized it? And next thing I knew, it grew a tree. And that tree fruited. And I had bunches of mustard seeds. And I took every last mustard seed, no mustard seed wasted, and I sprouted them and planted them. And I continued that cycle for as many mustard seeds that came from those yields. What this means to me is that my faith is not the size of the universe. My faith is the universe. You are who you think you are. And whoever's making you doubt yourself, move away. That's what I had to do. I had to let them go. I had to let them be behind me and let them watch and then catch up. I was trying to bring them along, and that was my downfall. Trying to bring other people along on a journey that wasn't theirs. Trying to be transparent. I wasn't forcing anything, but of course, just trying to be transparent. But the transparency was a great thing because it led me to understand that this was not my tribe. Because being transparent with your tribe will never make you have to leave them or move away from it. And thank you for trusting me with your vulnerability, with your time of need. I really, girl, you have no idea what that's doing for me right now. Say that again. If everyone had enough faith in their self as much as a mustard seed, that they are God to just a broken fragment of a mirror made of same thing, just different amounts. We are everything. You are. You are the self that you're moving towards. You are the self that created you. You are the system that contains the self. You are the self viewing the self. You are the self asking for self, searching for answers. We are, it is, I am. Amen. I spoke up. I just left my whole family with my kids. Every time I tried to leave, they tried to call cops, etc. But you did what felt right. So in the Bible, there are a list of morals, right? The 10 Commandments. If we follow our own moral guidance system, then we make no error, even though other people judge it. If we follow our own moral guidance systems, then we make no error. Ooh, girl, these cars is coming out for you, girl. They not even letting me pull. This is the faith we were just talking about. That's what's so amazing about this card. If we trust God, God speaks. If we trust ourselves, we speak. If I trust myself, wait a minute. What was that one? What was that one? The sun. Surrender. Not just surrender. This surrender makes you expand so quickly that you're unrecognizable. Blinding light, radiant, whole, free, happy. You deserve this. And your 5 kids deserve this. Each one of them in their own right, just as you do. Separately, divine. What's crazy is that I was going to end this live about 45 minutes ago, and I didn't. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Girl, wait. Girl, these 3 cards. God was nothing valid. God was nothing valid. Darkness that sparked an idea that he wanted to be something, so nothing became darkness. And from darkness came light, then energy to matter, and so on. And so you are. Look at this, girl. To me, this represents your kids. but you can't look over their God self. You are the magician. You are the divine mother. Someone told you not to believe that. You were tainted. You came out wounded. But you don't have to carry your wounds. Your wounds are the beauty of your story. And then you become the magician. Powerful. Ooh, good stuff. God was nothing, void, darkness. Now I get it. Do you want to talk about anything else, friend? I am getting ready to start wrapping this up, but I would like to be here for you if you want me to. Yes, right? Right? And as long as you see that in them, no one can take it away. You are their mom. If our parents would just validate our divinity, then we wouldn't have the same trauma. Not that we wouldn't be without trauma. We would be without trauma. Of course, trauma is going to come. But trauma changes based on your perspective. And if your mama would have validated your divinity, how much better would you have been? I'm not that type of reader, ma'am. My reader, me as a reader, is giving you what you need to be whole. Listening to you, my readings are present. They can't read your future. They can't read your past. But you know your future and your past. So I can present the cards to you, and then you can determine. What I'm seeing from all these cards and how they started just coming out for you, you got to be headed the right direction. My cards started to speak directly to you. No, your kids are your ancestors. Your kids are everybody that came before and after you. And it does not matter who your real parents are. That's just part of your human story. That's part of your body story. But your body doesn't need that to be whole. Your body doesn't need those answers. It would be nice. It would probably feel good and, bring you some type of closure on something. But your body doesn't need that for you to be liberated and celebrated. You are who you think you are. You got to believe it and tell that story. Stop telling your old story. Tell it differently. Ask the questions and trust the answers. Do you want anything else? Can I help you with anything else? I'm going to put this down real quick. This card, I'm feeling a pull to use this card. These are more personal. These are more soul-based, consciousness-based, evolution-based. these speak to us in a very different way than those other cards. So let me see what wants to come through. First, let me tap it. I know I don't have to. It just makes me feel better. Do I get to have a soulmate this time around? Or because my boy, oh boy, I had my run, what is the message I need right now? Soulmates can only come to you when you're whole. If your soulmate is out there waiting on you, he cannot get to you in this lifetime if you don't heal, right? If you don't ask yourself the next necessary questions. You can talk to your soulmate and you can treat your soulmate like he's present. But no other person is going to be able to tell you that he's real. You can ask 7 different people and you're going to end up with an odd number of answers of whether this soulmate will come or not. We can guess and we can feel in our bones, but we are all people with our own lives too. So whether that answer is real or not is going to be really imagination for you. You can believe me. You actually took time out for me. Much love, girl. It depends. The Matrix allows you to. I do it 3 times. LOL. Knocking my dick. Look at this girl. Ordinariness. You need to strip everything away. There's a lot of things going on around you. They're swirling. And you need to come back down to nature. We moved away from nature. We used to tend the land and we used to enjoy our lives outside peacefully, adapting, moving, growing, changing. But then we became systematized, or what is it? I don't know what it's called. But in this system, we lost ourselves. And we can only find ourselves in those mundane moments, in the ordinary things of life. We move too fast. We have too many things attached to us. In the tribe, there wasn't much in our cabins, and we were happy. And we had each other. We communicated, we walked, we talked, we created, we built, we cooked, we ate, we slaughtered, we cried, we worshiped, we asked, and we received. And that's good. Yes, 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 yes. And maybe that's your place of rejuvenation. Really, that's everybody's place of rejuvenation. But you tuned into that, and you understood it. So now drop all your bags. Legend. That's why the witches create cloth and shoes to keep us from the purity of the mother. I don't know. I don't know. I don't believe in witches in the same way everybody else, but I respect your perspective. It's like the things that people used to create negative in the world, like the word witch, which is it's not triggering to me, but I align with that word because nothing about me is typical. And somebody could look at it and call it witchery. And it's up to me to be offended with witchery. You know what I mean? It's up to me to be offended with what you see it as, because you are you and I'm me. And even if I did use the word witch, it would never be in a negative way, but I don't use that word. Some people do, you know, and I don't do no witchy stuff or nothing. It's just, and maybe it is witchy stuff. It depends on perspective, right? But for me, this is universal stuff. This is not witchy. These things were called witchy to keep us away from ourselves, like you said, so our feet wouldn't touch the ground. You know what I mean? And I don't know who did that, and I don't know what their story is, but everything has emotional attachments. I'm trying to teach everyone what thing is, and that thing has emotion. Everything has a soul. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Your intentions. It's all about intentionality, right? My intentions could cause bad things to happen. My good intentions can't. You know what I mean? It's gonna be bad for somebody. If someone is holding a gun, my good intention is gonna be bad for them. If someone is holding the world hostage, my good intention is gonna be bad for them. Yes. Yes, but also community, right? Having sounding boards, bouncing your ideas, your thoughts, your knowings, your perspective off of other people, and not to change your perspective, to sharpen your perspective so that you could be more grounded and sure of your perspective, being that you did bounce it off sounding boards. I don't know about you being a witch. I wasn't saying that it had nothing to do. I know that it didn't. I mean, I'm just tying myself into it just because I do tarot, and I have a very expansive belief system. I believe a lot of things that are not typical for most people. And that those are the people who were called witches. The people who were open-minded like me were called witches. And I know that was an attack. That wasn't an attack or nothing. That was just, that's your perspective. And I appreciate your perspective. I appreciate everybody's perspective because it makes me understand more about the world. Because I'm a very, very curious person. I like to pick people's brains. Like, oh, what do you think? What did you get? You know, what do you see? You know, like that type of thing. God says, don't dwell in your sorrow because you become it. If you look at life positive, then you Gucci. You Gucci. But if you, oh, okay. I don't know. I thought that was wrong. But if you think of the war, etc., it affects you. We all have we all have to learn to love things for what they are and the place and part they play in the girl, because this is a tapestry. This is the tapestry. And this tapestry holds good and bad, good things, good history, bad history, horrible history, divine history, and future and present, because time is not linear. There's no such thing as time. It's all cyclical. It's spiraling. We come back to the thing just to learn more about it. Oh, I was there before. Okay, we'll come back. We'll come back around here. You know, because that spiral is gonna come in. The first time you came, you got this thing. You're gonna spiral back around, and then you're gonna come again, and you're gonna get something else, and it's just gonna keep expanding, keep widening. And if I allow for people to see who I am, so they can question it and I don't know, just see it. It makes me better while making the world better because I believe that I'm good. and that my intentions for the world is good. So it's okay for me to be seen. I'm only gonna hide because there's something to be ashamed of. And there's nothing to be ashamed of, no matter what your condition. And being online today really shows that we ain't got nothing to be ashamed of. Have you seen the craziness online? I'm like, what? Y'all online like literally fighting. Y'all live in the same house, but y'all like live every day just fighting. That's crazy. What would I be ashamed of? Like, think of everyone playing tag to play every part in life and and everything around you so you can love everything. And that the only way to complete, forgive, and love their enemies is if they are your parts, etc. In the next life, you got to forget to forgive and forgive to live. That's the only way you can truly love. Because that's what it's all about, right? You had to forget that you're God in order to love yourself as God. And that's part of why a lot of us don't love ourselves right now. And we continue throughout our lifetime. We continue to forget that we're God, only to remember that we're God. I don't forget it. I say it too much. It lives with me. It walks with me. It is me. And I still have down times. And I still have nights where I cry and I got to get over something, or I have to get over my humanness, or I have to get over some type of something. But I accept that part because that part is the humanness of it all. You learned everything within a year. What is everything, girl? What is everything? After being scared to go out. What is everything? Guidance. And that's it for me, to find out that the devil's scene was my home. Girl, I can tie a whole story to letters, etc. And that's what you need to do. Everybody's story is important. We used to sit down around fires and powwow and share and tell each other stories and have interesting conversations, but we stopped sharing. We started getting ashamed of our story and not seeing any value in it. You can't you can't trust what you're saying right now because you're not there in the journey yet. It's a progress. It's a work in progress. You're not gonna just be like, "Hey, I know I'm God, and now I trust myself completely." No, it's a journey. These tarot cards. This is the fool's journey, right? And in order to trust myself, I have to be fool enough to go through all these things. I have to be fool enough to make the mistake, or fool enough to try. Yes, I have those same. I was just, yes. Absolutely. I have five other lives that I remember. Five other people. Three of them boys and two girls. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. But these lives are attached to me. And it's really interesting because they're multiracial. They're not black people only. Actually, it's only two black people in these past life memories. The others, one of them is Portuguese, one of them is white, and then the other one, I'm not sure what his ethnicity is. He's like, people call him yellow. People call these people yellow, but he's not a yellow person. But I would say ground yourself with what you have going on now and what you've expressed to me. What you need is grounded, to be grounded. Not that you're not doing the things, right? You're doing the things, but until you ground, you can't trust it. Until you understand grounded, where you can just ground in yourself. Some people need to anchor to things to ground, and then others just can ground. I'm Italian, etc., but I'm a reverse Oreo all the way. uh, can we peek each other's brain more? I love a sounding board and help. Girl, that's what I came here for. Watching from Australia. Hello. Hey. Teachers need teachers. Yes, ma'am. That's what I came here for. I'm looking for my tribe. I'm isolated in my tribe, the tribe I was born into has isolated me because I'm so open-minded that it makes them question what they know or what they think they know. And also the truth teller, and the truth teller, I'm starting to understand it. Nobody likes the truth teller. Nobody wants you to tell the truth, girl. Lie. Act like you don't know what's going on. Be lost so that everybody else can resonate with you. Because if you're not lost, then people can't resonate and then they just cast you out. Ex President City. Divine Broken. What you say your name is gonna be? Um Broken, beautifully broken and divine. Divinely broken, beautifully broken. What? Broken, beautifully divine. Yes. Yeah, girl. Yeah, definitely. Come back. If ever you see me on, I'm going to try to be more regular with this. I had to find a rhythm. And what I found is that these tarot cards have helped me to find a rhythm and to be clear and articulate what I came to do. And then show up in my fullest, most present. So, and I really appreciate that. And I appreciate y'all's presence. I appreciate y'all even sticking around to hear these words that are coming out of my mouth. I appreciate y'all because you didn't have to do it. And I really put myself out here to try to show up. And I appreciate when someone is a mirror to me. I'm on TikTok, Insta, etc., but I don't know how to work tech. I'm an old soul. I have a hard time on camera. Yeah, yeah, it can be hard. But one of the things that I found was just like get on camera more, even if you're not gonna post it. Just put that camera up, turn it on. Let me show you. Put that camera up and turn it on, even if you never post that video, because it's gonna get used to you. I mean, you'll get used to seeing yourself on camera and then watching it back. And then keep some of the videos because you might not like the video when you first post it or first see it, but maybe in a few months you'll accept the video and you'll be more willing to show up because you'll realize that, oh, I'm over judging myself or I'm over critiquing myself. I'm okay. So there you go. Maybe we can, girl. Yes, I would love to collab with anybody. I'm happy to be here. I'm just no, I'm for real. I'm really happy to be here. I've been trying to do this for 10 years, but I couldn't rush myself. And finally, I'm mature enough in my enlightenment that I can show up fully. Cause girl, when you're not mature, you start making up shit and start sounding crazy and it just you're trying to make it fit and it don't fit. Other people are able to implant what you know. I mean, put implant what they know into your head. You have to be really grounded and centered and firm in who you are and what you're trying to do. And what I'm trying to do is bring God online. So thank y'all for showing up. Thank y'all for sitting with me. If you haven't, can you please like the video and come back, check me out. It looks like that it's going to be more convenient for me to just be online than to be making videos to edit. All right, girl. All right, y'all have a good night. Enjoy yourself. Please come back and spend some time with me. Reach out. I'm on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, but I don't post content. Okay. All right. Bye.